Hi everybody, this is the baseball highlight, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the baseball hut. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So New York New York football Giants play today in their season opener at MetLife Stadium. There was no life in that stadium. My God. There's no life in that stadium by the New York Giants. They were destroyed by the Vikings 28-6. And there is a possibility we might be seeing Groundhog's Day again, because this is exactly what happened last season. Remember, right? When the Giants lost to the Cowboys and didn't score any points. Beginning of last year was one of the most disheartening starts to any season of recent note. And this is not a great beginning to this season. It really isn't. I was not very impressed with the fact that they kept Daniel Jones as quarterback. I thought they should have drafted a quarterback this offseason. They didn't do that. They brought in a great wide receiver. But unless you have a quarterback, what are you going to do? Also, there was no pass rush. There was no bad penalties. No blocking for Daniel Jones. Decision-making by Daniel Jones was terrible. Everything was a complete, total disaster and a complete, total mess. Now, I'm going to read you from GiantsWire.USA Today. Giants humiliated by the Vikings 28-6 and potential tone-setting opener. Oh, really? You don't say. New York Giants hosted the Minnesota Vikings at MetLife Stadium in Week 1 of the 2024 NFL season. The weather was picture perfect for football as Big Blue celebrated the start of their 100th season in the NFL. It was a beautiful day here in New York and in the New York area. And they're beginning their 100th season. And this is going to be a year that's going to be forgettable. The Giants wore their century red uniforms to commemorate their 100 years in the league. Ring of Honor quarterbacks Phil Simms and Eli Manning rang the bell before the game. And Hall of Fame linebacker Lawrence Taylor handled the honorary coin toss. And I would mention, these uniforms are dreadful. These are the ugliest pieces of crap you've ever seen. And I'm being nice. Pieces of shit. That's an homage. Homage my ass. The Giants entered the game with no injuries to report. The inactive list was populated with all healthy scratches. Safety Anthony Johnson, cornerback Trey Hawkins III, OLB Boogie Basham, OL Jay Kubas, and quarterback Tommy DeVito. The Giants lost the season opener last year at home 40-0 to the Dallas Cowboys. This year it wasn't as bad, but it was far from good. Oh, jeez. Let's go run down a little bit. So after the first quarter, the Giants were behind 7-3. And then they were 14-3 to finish the first half. And again, they just doubled it. So 14-3 and then 14-3 in the second half. My goodness. Keys of the game. The penalties. The Giants had 9 accepted penalties for 95 yards. Minnesota wasn't much cleaner with 7 infractions for 63 yards. The Giants aren't helping themselves with their sloppy play. A few deep shots. All summer long, we saw the Giants going deep in practice. On Sunday, they played very conservatively with just 1 reception over 15 yards. Turnovers. Wow. Daniel Jones, that's his specialty. Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. One went for a pick 6, and the other was in the end zone, and an impossible scoring drive. Wow, that's exactly, that is, who Daniel Jones is. And he has no pulse. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. Red zone failures. The Giants were 0-3 in the red zone, and the Vikings went 2-2 against Shane Bowen's tough red zone defensive scheme. Nothing has changed. Jones looked terrible most times, and a lot of that could be rust. Yeah, okay. He went 22 for 42 passing for 186 yards with 2 picks or 44.3 rating. Pathetic. The offensive line is still a work in progress, allowing 5 sacks. This is not a work in progress. This is a disaster. They say it was over. These uniforms are disgusting looking. Terrible. It was over when the Vikings linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel picked off a Daniel Jones pass with 4:26 in the third quarter on the Giants' 10-yard line and ran it in for a touchdown to give the Vikings a 28-6 advantage. My goodness. This is just a mess. What a mess. Players of the game. There are any players of the game for the Giants? Let's take a look. Here's a player of the game, really, quite frankly, is wide receiver Malik Neighbors. The Giants' top draft pick wasn't asked to do a whole lot since the game plan called for short to intermediate passes, but he had a solid debut with 5 receptions for 66 yards. Why did you draft him if you're not going to throw deep? Okay? He cannot be covered as a player. I mean, I don't understand this, reading this stuff. And I haven't watched this game today. This makes no sense to me. You drafted a good wide receiver. One of the best wide receiver in college football for this quarterback to throw to. And this guy only got his hands on the ball 5 times. You don't throw him any deep passes. I mean, what is going on here? Does this organization know what it's doing? It doesn't seem like they know. What are we going to go do? Some more coaches here? Going to go do some more coaches after that first good year? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, how do you expect fans to get excited when you don't even compete? When you don't even try? It doesn't seem like they tried today. I mean, it's the same monkey crap. Garbage in, garbage out. And this has been going on for 12 years, folks. We know that. 13 years, since 2013 season. Since the Giants won their last Super Bowl. When does this turn around? This is a long time between winning and really being any kind of like competitive team, you know. And when are the Giants going to realize that Daniel Jones isn't going to cut it? I mean, we know they made a mistake signing him to that long-term deal 2 off seasons ago. Why didn't you do something about drafting a quarterback and getting him out of here, or even bringing a veteran quarterback? And you still haven't resolved the whole issue with this offensive line. I mean, this is crazy. Well, we're going to cover this, I think, from video to video. But boy, oh boy, this is a mess. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry, I got to talk about this. This is bad. I mean, I'm dealing with great stuff here with the Mets, but boy, oh boy. To start off the football season this badly. I can't imagine the Jets being any worse than this, but you never know. The Jets seem to always have to haunt themselves at some point. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers, by the way, can stay on the field longer than a period. Or longer than a quarter, by the way. But let me know what you think about that. And, of course, I'll keep you up to date on this stuff with the Giants. This is a mess. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.